Audio Jungle.
Hello and welcome to this edition of the Global News Weekly with me, Giyo, Ndzi. In our top stories, Cameroon's military spokesperson responds to his institution's critics. US President Donald Trump begins deploying troops to the US-Mexico border. A gang in Nigeria robs 5 commercial banks and invades a police station. And Nigeria's female football squad gets an 8-0 spanking from France in a friendly game. We'll bring to you a development of these stories and more. Stay glued. The U.S. state of Texas this week deployed National Guard members to the border with Mexico following a call from President Donald Trump. The state of Arizona is also reportedly planning to deploy 150 troops there next week. These are all part of Trump's plan to send 4,000 National Guard members to secure the border with Mexico until his proposed border wall is built. Mexico's president has condemned what he called threatening or disrespectful attitudes from President Donald Trump. Cameroon's military has been criticized by social media users for its role in the ongoing Anglophone crisis. In response to the allegations, Colonel Ndzi, spokesperson to the Cameroon Army, has demanded that Cameroonians present evidence of alleged abuses of civilians by the military. Amongst other issues addressed, the colonel said Cameroon has been independent since 1960 and has no lessons to learn in the way its defense forces legally pursue their mission of securing the population. Mobile internet services have been restored in many areas of Ethiopia following a shutdown for months now. This comes after Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed promised to bring about reforms in the country. The government has on several occasions shut down the internet in a bid to contain widespread protests that are in part organized online. A Catholic priest in the Democratic Republic of Congo has reportedly been released after a ransom was paid to his kidnappers. Father Celestine Ngango was taken away by armed men in the eastern city of Goma in northern Kivu province shortly after he finished leading an Easter Mass. The amount paid for his release has not been disclosed, but the kidnappers had demanded a $500,000 ransom for his release. At least 12 people were killed on Thursday when a gang of armed men invaded a police station and robbed 5 commercial banks in the central Nigerian town of Ofa. The BBC reports that a gang of about 15 people stormed Ofa in several vehicles and shot in the air sporadically to scare away passers-by after blocking several entrances leading into the town. Bank authorities are still asserting how much damage they have lost. A suspected chemical attack in Syria's rebel-held town of Douma has reportedly killed at least 40 persons and affected hundreds more. The White Helmets Rescue Group said on Saturday that most of the fatalities were women and children. Syrian state media has so far denied allegations that pro-government forces have used any chemical weapons against the rebels or civilians. A Palestinian journalist that was shot by Israeli forces during a mass demonstration along the Gaza border has died of his wounds. 30-year-old Yasser Mutaja, who was a photographer for a Gaza media agency, was shot in the stomach on Friday, despite wearing a jacket marked "Press." The Israeli army in a statement said it doesn't intend to shoot any press persons and that any such instances are being investigated. On to this human interest story, a couple based in Kentucky, USA, have decided to remarry after 50 years of divorce. The couple, Harold Holland and Lillian Barnes, originally got married in 1955 but called it quits in 1967 after having 5 children together. Their wedding ceremony, set for April 14, will be officiated by their grandson, Joshua Holland. In sports, Nigeria were given an 8-0 spanking by France in a women's friendly international football game. The Super Falcons were playing their first match since winning an 8th Women's African Cup of Nations title in December 2016. This year's Women's Nations Cup will take an extra significance as it will also decide on the continent's teams for the 2019 Women's World Cup. Qualifying will give Nigeria an 8th record appearance at the tournament. Still in sports, South Africa's swimmer Chad Leclos has become the most successful male swimmer in history at the Commonwealth Games after winning the 50 meters butterfly contest to earn his 13th medal in his career. That was all we had time for on this edition of the Global News Weekly with me, Giyo, Ndzi. Stay for more updates on our Facebook page at the Global News Weekly.
Audio Jungle.